Greetings, fellow traders. Bubba here. It's time for the Lunchtime Market Update for Wednesday, January the 27th, 2021. I hope everybody's having a great trading day today. This is brought to you by Positive Trends Research, and everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice, so please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome. Good. All right, well, let's check see what's happening here in the market here today. So it's Fed Day, and it's also National Short Squeeze Day. Lots of our requests today are basically all the short squeeze names from like Reddit, Wall Street Bets, things like that. But it has been pretty epic. We've seen a lot of big pushes here this morning on some names that are normally shorted and normally a little bit, kind of not as big range, right? So we'll look at some cool charts here today. But SPX here, down 59 points, right? But we're still green here on the monthly chart. Weekly chart starting to look like dark cloud cover, but not quite because we didn't gap over the prior week's range. But could turn into a bearish engulfing candle depending how Fed Day goes today. So we'll see what Powell has in store for us this afternoon. So kind of interesting right here, right? We were kind of looking at this as maybe working on a wave 5 up, but already we've kind of pushed back here on this potential subwave 4. Now for this still to stay valid, it could actually kind of still hold this level right here to be a true wave 4 pullback, but we've been kind of going with the impulsive move. Now, the big deal here is that we have broken down below the bump line. So what that's going to do is give us a fresh trend box. So we really need to keep an eye on the market over the next couple of days to see if we can confirm below there and where we go from there. Of course, with the macro trend line is still up here. If I just kind of edit this here and just stretch it up a little bit here off of that little pivot back there, right? That's your macro trend line, right? So it's kind of a big area right here and not a horrible area to possibly bounce here off of the cloud if the market does want to pull back. So let's see how it goes there, especially after the Fed and what type of guidance we get from that. So again, big breakdown here through the bump line or through the geometric line right here. So we're going to keep an eye on it. Volume's already pretty high here today. I'm sure it's going to pick up again after the Fed. So some big stuff there. Let's see the levels that we've been looking at here on the futures this morning. So some of our members were short this morning on the futures because, I mean, it was really odd, right? Last night we just started dropping down here pre-market and some really big volume came in. There's really no news. It just sort of reminds me a lot of Monday's rapid sell-off. So right at the open, gave a short opportunity here through the overnight lows, right? That was a big area and a signal zone, and we got right to the signal zone off of that. We bounced off our signal zone below here through a VPOC, right? A prior VPOC right there. So we got a nice bounce here and then back down again. Now it's kind of grind its way up right here, but still below the prior geometric line. So we'll see how it goes here today. Again, lots of bump lines on this one here today. So we'll see how that goes, right? So I mean, ultimately, I mean, it's tough to really find a key level right here. Just kind of see how something like this geometric level holds right now after that last turning point pivot. So again, kind of struggling with the ADMA right now here on the 15-minute chart for the S&P futures. So good stuff there. Let's see what the Qs are up to here today. So they're down about 4 points here today, but kind of chopping around their 15 orb range. The IWM is actually generally pretty perky here today. So we've saw names like American Airlines were really strong today. So and some other names, some small retail names were actually pretty strong today, which is kind of wild. We'll take a look at a few names here today. Lots of requests on those names too. So good stuff there. Let's say the XLF. So the bank's still struggling here. We broke down below that channel here this morning, so still looking generally pretty weak here as we head into the Fed. So let's see what kind of rate decisions they make if that affects the banks at all here today. So good stuff there. Apple has earnings tonight, so it's been kind of all over the place. It does look a little bit bullish right here. Nice dip buy on this one. So see how it holds right here. A lot of upper shadows off the 15 orb high. But again, this thing's become expensive here with the premiums high, with the volatility as high as it is going into earnings. And of course, we've been talking about volatility this weekend. How appropriate is it with all the Reddit stuff? So good stuff there. Again, Tesla has earnings tonight as well. It's to give a nice measured move up right here, nice bounce. Kind of rally-based rally right here, and then kind of found this little doji inside doji reversal, which we've done some series on in the past on this. So those are some of the big names here today. A couple of the ones that were on our radar this morning going into today. Nikola. Again, this was a good opening move here, right? We broke out of the pre-market levels right here and gave a nice push here at the open. So that was good for Nikola. FSLY, one of our members pointed this out in the live stream today. We traded this up here through the 15 orb high for a nice move on FSLY today. PLTR, this was an overnight idea that we had. They had their demo day yesterday, and it was also 60 anchor yesterday. So once it kind of cleared and held those levels, we got a nice push up there on PLTR. It ended up turning into a profitable trade, but the gap down was kind of blah. But it's okay. We also had Fubo as our long idea too, and that gave a nice gap up here today, so that was nice. We also had Baidu on the short radar to give us a nice gap down today, so that was good as well. So all ended up working out pretty well. And there's one more here, Starbucks. Just kind of keep an eye on this one here. One of the weakest links here today after earnings. So just generally been riding down the ADMA today. So kind of keep that on the radar too. So some chart requests out there. So we've got Zoom. So Zumba, again, that's moving nicely here with FSLY today, right back to the ADMA here on the daily chart. AMC, another crazy name here today too. Again, big gap up and reversal on this one. We actually had some members that were long on this overnight and did quite well on that one today. So good job there. SPCE volatility getting really, really high on this one as well. 500% volatility on this, but again, fresh all-time highs on this one as it continues to get squeezed up. Nokia, here's one that one of our members pointed out not too long ago for a swing idea after it broke out of this major geometric line right here. Strong day, pause day yesterday, and then a big push up here today. It's been halted a few times. BB, there's another one too. BlackBerry continuing to be epic and just grind its way up, gapped up over the inside day today. Again, a lot of these names are really challenging here, but some big moves here. BBBY, again, another big one here too. Again, so Bed Bath & Beyond, Express, those type of names are really affecting the retail sector, and you're seeing some names like Macy's, Kohl's, things like that start to work their way up. And keep in mind, GameStop is a retail name. Now, it did pull back here off of its 380 high. It's kind of all over the place. What's kind of funny about that is that AMC and GME are actually now, you can't even trade them in Thinkorswim anymore with TD Ameritrade because of the risk involved in the volatility. So what a week to talk about volatility. But anyway, good stuff, guys. Appreciate the requests out there. I hope everybody has an awesome trading day. Don't forget Fed rate decision at 2 o'clock Eastern time this afternoon, and the press conference with Jerome Powell at 2:30. So looking forward to that one, and hope everybody has a great rest of your trading day, and we'll see you guys in the market wrap. And until then, stay healthy out there, and remember your risk first and stay safe so you can stay in the game.